say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. With me you're heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find no matter what. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem. No. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. With me you're heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell your good night. 'Cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. With me you're heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all.
It does kill it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. But Klopp doesn't change the system since Bubak left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
Boom, what's going on? What's going on, people? Back again on the Jerry James Show. Let me take that subscribe to the channel nonsense off. And we're back again. Another tactics board, another... I don't know, is there an excuse to rant? Not really. Another kind of subdued delve into the tactical masterclass that Klopp brings us every single week. So, like, salute to that. Big up everyone in the building that's already been inside. We got G with myself, as always. How you doing, G, man?
I'm all right, bro. I'm all right, man. Same shit, different day. Like I've been saying recently, man. Same shit, different day when it comes to Liverpool. But outside of that, man, I'm blessed, man. How are you? How are you, bro? How's your day
I'm
been?
good, man. I'm good. Let me know, is anything lagging on your end or on in the chat's end? Everything's good?
Yeah, everyone's blessed.
Just
Yeah.
making sure, obviously, new setup and stuff. So had to make sure. But big up in the building to Baz saying big up Jerry. People in the chat, smash the like when you can come in. It's like muddy boots on carpet. It don't make sense. Trust me, it doesn't. It just doesn't.
That's it, buddy.
Jody in the building saying Jerry, big up to Jody. We got Captain Sal as well. Marshall Ayub saying another great show load, and big up to Marshall. I'ma just have my popcorn and enjoy. Listen, Baz needs the popcorn as well. Effortless is in the building as well. Big up to Effortless. We've got Alejandro in the building. Big up. Effortless saying question for the chat. We sign in anyone else this window? I'm gonna lead that for the chat right now. We're not gonna get into that. You got K 6 times in the building saying big up Jerry. G's obviously already with us. We got Junior who's saying big up Junior, big up.
Junior.
Shout out to Junior. Junior saying cześć Jerry. To będzie świetnie przedstawienie. Big up. Man, I'm confused right now. G's looking at me like, what are you saying?
I just don't know what it means. I'm always up for a new language, bro.
And what's going on? This is gonna be a good representation. We're gonna chat. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be a good convo. Alejandro saying you guys are twinning. We're twinning with the hats today, you know.
Bro, it is what it is. Sometimes when you think alike, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them things.
Great man to think alike, man. Great man to think alike. We've got Jamrock in the building saying bless up. Hope you're doing well. We got Honesty in the building. Mark A. True Don. Tafsir. That's it. Tafsir. Big up saying Liverpool rinse and repeat. Trust me, Liverpool rinse and repeat. It's a reloaded thing at the moment, man. At the moment, Klopp.
Like I said, same shit, different day. Same shit, different day.
That song from Davido is old as well. We're talking 2018, bro. And man just reloading it. You know, every time they're coming into training, it's just Lodu.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like when everyone keeps blasting Burna Boy's Last Laugh. Like it's like that. You know, like after you heard it, okay, yeah, that's a tune.
In it, that's just like,
and then now I've heard it a million times. I'm like, okay, you know, there's other songs. You know, we have got other things, but you know, let's go.
Trust. LVFC TV asking if I'm Polish. Yes, I am. Junior is saying my fiance is half Polish. Big up to yourself. You speak in Polish.
Congratulations.
Crazy. Congratulations. Voice of Reason saying, sometimes I wonder if Klopp actually knows the size of his club. If he was at Real Madrid, he wouldn't dare run this succession project he's going on with his side chick Linda's. How dare you? And Romz saying, okay, there's other songs. I love G. Romz, you know what, yeah? You're the main culprit of that. Every time he goes out, yeah? Every time he's out in the club, I'm always hearing Burna Boy last.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Go to a different dance, bro. Like, what one? Why are you going to the same dance?
You need to pull up to the DJ and be like, hey, DJ, run a different rhythm.
Yeah, let me chat to you real quick.
Run a different rhythm. But yeah, man, look, let's. We got Victor Ojomo saying Nigeria song. That's it, man. But it's too much.
Yeah, man. Not every day.
Burna Boy. It's going to be Ira Star next. You know what I mean?
Bro, just like we don't have to, guys. You know, we don't have to rinse music. There's so much music out there we can play.
It's Ashake now, isn't it? Ashake is the one that everyone's rinsing in it with that Amapiano.
I'm gonna hear that till March. I don't want to hear that till March.
Exactly. But look, let's get into the football. Enough of this talk. Liverpool 2, Wolves 2. Romz predicted a draw. I know, G, you couldn't make the preview, but I don't know what your prediction was. You predicted a win, I assume.
Yeah, bro. I saw the line.
I was out here predicting victories as well. I was saying, Tom was saying 2-1. I was saying, no, 3-1. So it wasn't Tom.
You know why? Because you saw the lineup.
Yeah, but I was predicting 3-1. I was like, you know what? No, like this is gonna paper over the cracks. We're gonna have to come out here, and I'm gonna have to come out with some positives out of the game. We end up Liverpool, innit? That's what I'm screaming. I'm gonna be dead honest with everyone in the chat. I'm gonna be dead honest with you, G. I'm looking at the camera. We are in the mud. We caught a life. We actually don't deserve to actually be in this third round replay. It should be fourth round, Wolves through. Let's start with the biggest talking topic. Obviously, I don't know your thoughts on it, G. What are we saying?
In terms of
goal? Was that a goal? Was that offside? Like, what are you telling me?
Oh no, I thought you meant the game. Bro, come on now, man. That's like, as in, I'm still baffled when I'm looking at it. Like, I've seen different camera angles, I've seen different videos, I've seen different everything, and I still don't understand as to how that wasn't actually a goal. That's the bit that's kind of confusing me a little bit. Like, guys in the chat, like, I can see it already with the comments and stuff like that. That was definitely a goal, and it's things like this, they don't help us. They really, really don't help us when it comes to like decisions and Liverpool and stuff. Like, it don't help us. Like, it just makes us look even worse. Did you get what I'm trying to say? And that's why when I saw that goal got disallowed, I was thinking, disallowed? Like, I was all thinking maybe there was a foul. I actually thought, oh right, maybe someone fouled someone. I'm watching the game, I'm watching the ball, I'm ball watching, and maybe I didn't see something on the other side. Like, and I looked at it again. I looked at it like 5 times. I've looked at it even today. I don't see nothing there. Like, what was the issue? But again, we caught life, bro. We caught life again. As you said, we should be out. We shouldn't be trying to face Brighton in the next round. Heck, if anything, it should have been a blessing in disguise because we got Brighton in the next round. So I don't know, man. How was you when you saw that? Yeah, were you thinking like one of those things where it's like, cool, the goal got disallowed, maybe that might even just re-energize the team a little piece, a decision goes like in your way, you're like, all right, yo, you guys, we caught life, let's try and try and potentially get a goal or something like that, but then we just continue like we always have.
I mean, I didn't expect anything to change, if that's what you're thinking. What I was thinking when the actual thing happened, I was thinking, what's going on? Like, I was like, huh? We caught life. A bit of me, and I said it on the preview. I was here with Michael Talks, and then Albert made an appearance. He made a guest appearance for Romz.
Yeah, I see that.
And a little nice sub. Unlike Klopp, we made the right sub at the right time. We came in, big up to Albert. And it was like, I don't want us to like, if we're not going to win, I don't want to replay. I don't want to go to the Molineux. Like, why? We're talking about a schedule that's already packed. Virgil's out. We're relying on this new kind of form partnership at the back with Konate and Matip and Alisson. We're already seeing that trio is not looking great, looking shaky already. Looking shaky. And that's considering, Virgil hasn't been on top form. And I'm sitting there just thinking, I just want us to lose, man. I know it's mad to say as football fans. I know it is. But I want us to lose for the greater good. Because it would have papered over the cracks if we had won. And not only that, if we had drawn, it's even worse. It's even worse now. So
got another game.
I don't know, man, but look, game like looking. Go on, G. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's one of them ones where, like, again, I want people, because I know some people they watch the show, and I've seen some of the comments and stuff like that. Not today, but in general. And I know at times we might say stuff that's like, right, like, you guys are not, and we get the usual, oh, you guys are not real fans, red, all of that kind of stuff. How could you want Liverpool to lose? But you got to understand, we're not saying it like, and Jerry didn't just say it there because, hates Liverpool. Now, as he said, man, there's a bigger picture sometimes. Like, sometimes when you're in the mud, at like how we are as a club, certain games are like, we don't necessarily win. That's great. That's not a problem. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when you deserve to lose, that might have been the blessing. Like, just lose that game. We move on. We can focus on the Premier League and then obviously the Champions League when it comes, and we can just focus, and maybe we can get some type of rhythm, because now you got an extra game. What does Klopp do in this situation? Does he play the same team? He can't really, because it's going to be sandwiched in between other games, and he doesn't want to have to tire everyone out. But then he needs rhythm. So we ain't got enough good players to even really play like a second string side. So then what do? You're pissed either way. You're literally pissed either way.
Yeah, quick one. You know how we run his channel. First of all, big up to Junior. Junior saying, look, let's match the amount of views with the likes. We definitely got to do that. We definitely got to do that, because if not, we know the interview's playing. The second thing, the second agenda before we get into anything is this banter or not? I don't know. But Anfield Road then saying, where's your accents? How many games you been to? Usual garbage. Now, first of all, let's start. Let's start. Let's get the mic out. Let's get the mic out, right? You watch Kopish. You watch Monts. You probably watch Jamie Phillips' show as well. None of these brothers are from Liverpool. That's A, right? So you've got a problem
He's
with what we're
trolling
saying.
still. He's trolling.
Cool. No, he's trolling. He's trolling. Well, cool. He might be trolling. He might be joking. But come on. We know what happens. When you go and say that, you get a grilling.
Jerry was about to start attacking.
No, but you get a grilling. Regardless, you get a grilling. So this is a banter for grilling, but you get a grilling. I've been to more games than most Liverpool fans. I've done more mileage than most Liverpool fans. Because for me to get to Anfield is actually more mileage for any of us. So come on. Be warned. But anyway, I know it's banter. Big up to Anfield Road End saying hit the likes to yourself. How many games have you been to means what exactly? Way to alienate 95% of Liverpool fans. Listen, he's bantering, so all good.
But even on that, anyway, like forget Anfield Road ends anyway, but just in a general sense, that's blatantly true. Do you know what I mean? Like you literally would have to probably alienate around about maybe not 95, but the percentage is more high. Like we got to remember, there's more fans outside of Liverpool than there are in Liverpool. This ain't Chelsea. You know what I mean? It ain't like we're from, you know what I mean, in the ends or whatever, or in London or whatever, where everybody who's in Southwest area is gonna probably support Chelsea or Fulham, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of these fans, and again, not Anfield Road ends. I'm just talking the fans.
Yeah,
outside.
but do you know what it is? I'm bringing it up not because Anfield Road said it. It's because this is the stuff that we get on Twitter on a daily basis.
We get this all the time.
We get in our DMs, on Instagram, on YouTube, in the comments. So that's why I'm saying, like, of course, we're not Anfield Road End. I see him hit every single stream. Like Anfield Road End is a G. That's why I'm joking about it. If it was the case, I'd have been like, hold on. I wouldn't have even said about the first thing about getting up the likes. It would have been straight an attack on Anfield Road End. But he knows. But big up to your damn self. But yeah, man, like, getting back to obviously just the game, man. Like, looking at that starting lineup, would you have changed anything from that starting lineup? So tactically speaking, you're looking at that team. I know there's a lot of talks. Should the youngsters play? Should they get a rest? Should we see the likes of Bajcetic, maybe Doak starting? When you saw that lineup, were you in agreement or not?
Definitely not in agreement. Yeah, I thought that lineup was kind of a waste of time. I didn't even see I did a video called "What Did We Learn?" Like, why did you play the lineup? Like, why I didn't need to see the strongest lineup in an FA Cup third round match that was of zero importance to Liverpool. Like, we're in a season where we've got bigger dreams, bro. Like, why are you playing? I don't mind the Cody Gakpo. Yeah, he needs to start, of course, first game. Let's get him integrated as quickly as possible. I don't want to see Konate Matip. I don't want to see Alisson in goal. Like, none of it even made sense. That was the bit that confused me and everyone kept saying to me, bro, I was getting heckled on social media, bro. Like, we need to play this team because we need some rhythm. I was like, rhythm? Brother, we're sitting in 6th and we've got no rhythm anyway. So regardless of who we play and who we start, forget about the rhythm. We just need to be conserving players. That's what I'm concerned about. Thiago, Fabinho, Hendo, midfield. What like Nunes, Salah, and Cody Gakpo. So God forbid anyone got injured. Then what do we do? Like, that exercise was now pointless. The rhythm doesn't even make sense. We played shit anyway. So again, I asked, why did you play that team? Didn't understand.
Do you know what it's for me though? Yeah, because I'm on the contrary of that. I'm not even talking about the rhythm aspect of it. I just think in order for these guys to play well, the only way I see what Klopp's doing actually working is the players bucking up their ideas and something just clicking. Just clicking. But it's now we're in miracle stage now. There's nothing cerebral about what Klopp's doing. There's nothing cerebral about what Linders or the players are doing. It's now just we're just gonna go and keep doing it until you guys get it because I know you guys have got it.
Yeah.
Which for me is the wrong avenue to go in at, like, completely. But that's what we're doing. So if we're gonna do that, I'm like, we might as well go and play the players, because essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna expose these players, like the likes of Bajcetic, Doak, gonna play all the youngsters. We'll get popped, and then what?
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Then what? So it's like, for me, it's like, we've been so garbage. If you're gonna lose, play the first team. Expose every hole in this team. I want the best team playing every single week, so we can actually see where this team is at. Because the excuses would have been, oh, it's Wolves' B team, but it was our B team as well, and we're playing Bajcetic. And if we didn't play Bajcetic, then we would have done this. If we had started to, like, for example, me, I would have played Keller, right? I would have played Keller. Yeah. I would have played Keita. Those are the two. If I get up my team from last from the last stream, people, you would have remembered people. Let's see if I've actually got it here. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. There we go. I got the team right. So the only like change I would have done, obviously, Verge is injured, was Keita and obviously I knew Alisson would play because I heard that Klopp came out with those statements. But I'd have played Keller and Keita. Reason being is because Keita is the change that I would have liked to see, because I don't want to see Elliott in the team anymore. I don't want to see Henderson necessarily in the team anymore. Just try something different. Even if you played Ox there, something different. But Keita's coming back into form. It's not in the league. Let him play that first half, 60 minutes, and he can come off. He goes and plays Henderson. So he actually goes stronger than I would have thought. Plays Alisson. It didn't work out.
Let me ask you about that just quickly. Like, obviously we kick ball, so we obviously would understand it from that sense. But, bro, you're Kelleher, yeah? You're the second choice goalkeeper. You know, obviously in the league, Champions League.
Bouncing, G. I'm bouncing. Brother, finish your sentence, but I am bouncing. If I'm
That's what I was going to ask you, bro. It's like,
see this man management talk about Klopp. Where's the man management?
Thank you. That's exactly what I was alluding to. Was I hear a lot of, man management and this guy, but that's very poor man management. I don't understand. Like, why do you even have him here? You might as well just put Harvey Davis, what's his name? That Harvey Davis guy or whatever on the bench. Like, you might as well just have had him, because Keller even being here is the most pointless thing now. Why are you here now? I feel sorry for you. I actually feel sorry for you. That's how deep it is.
Yeah, I don't get. So what? We're out of the Carabao Cup. We didn't really take that seriously. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't, whether the team weren't on it or whatever, but it wasn't a competition that the team really took seriously, considering where we were as a club in our position. And now Kelleher's, that's it, because Klopp's come out and said FA Cup is Alisson's competition. So since when? Because since when has Klopp ever taken the FA Cup seriously until last season? So I don't really know where that topic is coming from. Maybe because he knows the Champions League is done. Maybe because he knows the Premier League is done. Right? But cool. Champions League, Kelleher's not playing. Premier League, Kelleher's not playing.
Give me 1 second.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So these two competitions, he's not playing people. So I don't get where Klopp is going with this. I don't know how this motivates a Kelleher to want to go and try and be better. All this training is our transfers. It looks like the transfer's not going to win then. It's not really going to work, because Kelleher's he's not going to be motivated. Same thing for Fabio Carvalho. Why did we get that player? If he can't get into an FA Cup game when the Premier League is the most important, what's the point? What's the point? You might as well bounce. You might as well bounce on loan.
Listen, man. I'm even getting bored anyway. Like, I was saying this to someone the other day, like one of my guys. Big up yourself if you're watching now as well. Like, bro, I'm just getting bored. Like, I keep hearing people's counter arguments in regards to, Klopp, and just keep. I'm not even going to name this person. They know who they are, but they keep mentioning about, Klopp. Why would you change your system? Why would you change this? Or the excuses of injuries, blah 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 blah. Look, if we want to do the excuse of injuries, bro, I'll show you the squads that we've had against certain teams that we've drawn and lost against. I don't even want to hear about injuries again. So let's get that out of our minds. It's not like Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, flipping Thiago, Fabinho, Hendo are all injured. Like, let's not do that, man. I'm tired of that shit. Yeah, Trudon. But it's like, you've got that excuse, which is always an excuse that people love to fall back on. But then I'm seeing, like, we're watching Klopp all the time, and this also points to something that you mentioned. Not even mentioned show. Sorry, before we did the show, and you guys will probably see it soon. Jerry had a different thumbnail for this show, and I told him, "Don't even show it yet. Don't even show it. Don't even show it."
No. That's not getting dropped. That's not getting dropped.
Yeah. And I told Jerry, don't even use that thumbnail for this show specifically. And the reason why is because I keep saying it. One, it's going to happen again, but we're going to see. I feel like it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So I feel like that thumbnail is going to be, there's going to be a right time to use it. And I just don't think that today's was the one. But that thumbnail depicted everything I feel anyway, and I know Jerry feels in regards to Klopp, is like, Romz, you just asked, is Klopp well? I don't know anymore. I don't know what else can I do or say. What else can Jerry say? What else can Romz say? What else, like, Can anybody who wants Klopp out, and you know what, forget even wanting Klopp out, just who wants Klopp to do better, what more can we say, people? What more? Like the players, yes, the players need to buck up their ideas, man. 100%. I'm definitely not trying to shy away from that. These players have been moving washed, but then I'm seeing reports today about, you know, the message is not really getting across, you know, to the players and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, that's all evident though. Like that's not even news. That wasn't even news that I needed to even see, because you can see it. There's a massive disconnect between players and manager. There's massive. Whether it's they don't believe in what's going on in terms of, bro, you've come second like 100 times to Manchester City. You keep falling short, you know, to Manchester City. Let's be real. The one time you did even win it, Man City were dead anyway that season and had injuries anyway. But you won it. Deserve to win it, no problem. Not got any beef with that. But then you're looking at Klopp, and it's just continuous, man. I am bored of talking of this brother. Like that's what I said to Romz on Twitter earlier on. Like now, we just sit back and we smile. I just have to sit back and I just smile, because the reality is, you're showing everybody your hand at the moment. Do you get what I mean? And this is for all the people who are like, nah, Klopp, stay in. And I don't mind. At the end of the day, of course, I understand the reasoning why you'd want to keep someone like that in terms of continuity and seeing what might happen in the future. But we're watching the game against Wolves. You played your best team that you think, anyway, is your best team. What did we even learn? Like, I didn't see anything new, or even, you know what, fuck it, forget anything new. How about I just didn't even see anything better than what I've seen all season? This is an FA Cup third round against a Wolves B team. Like, can we just deep the situation that we are in at this current moment in time? Like, can we just deep it for a second? Wolves FA Cup third round at home at Anfield under the lights, 8 p.m. should be winning these kind of games. This shouldn't even be a game where man's even looking and I'm like, oh crap, you know what? This is this and that is that. Like, we should be winning this kind of game. Jerry said it before the game. He's thinking 3-1. Jerry, I was thinking the same thing. I'm even thinking, yeah, we might even get a couple goals here. Gakpo might even, you know, get in on the
gonna score. Yeah, all
like,
of that.
I'm thinking Nunes. I thought Nunes was gonna score. I even put a bet on him to even score. Guys, don't gamble. But it's like I'm looking at everything and I'm thinking, yeah, this should bode well. We didn't learn anything. And from that game, all I'm getting is that you really believe in your shit. Like, you really think your shit doesn't stink. Like I've come to that. You really think that your shit doesn't stink. Hence the reason why you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I don't get why people think it's just going to change if we give this guy 200 or 300 million, he gets these guys and boom, bam, bim. It doesn't work like that. Look at Potter. Don't work like that. Give the guy all this. Well, to be fair, it wasn't his money, to be fair. It was two truths. But giving this guy so many different players, do you think that it's just going to click like this? It doesn't work like that, man. If the manager keeps doing the same things, we're going to be doing the same things. I don't get where there's supposed to be change. Like, how do things change? And then guess what, Jerry? We see the news today. Ox and Naby Keita might potentially get new deals. I don't know what I don't know what else can I say. I don't even know anymore, bro. I'm tired.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is with me? Yeah, it's you said obviously a key thing. You said you're sitting back and smiling. Now I'm not sitting back and smiling because I don't want this to happen.
No, of course.
I don't want it to happen. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, nah, you know what? I need to be proven wrong. Like, I want to be proven wrong. We're talking about, like, I'll put it hand on heart. I don't want to look at when I was sitting around and thinking, rah, and this was like years ago, like 2 years ago, I was sitting there thinking, I know, like, obviously our team's much better, but why do I feel like we can't really control games? Like the way Benitez controlled games with the tactics. Why can't we do that? And I used to go and sit there and think, and I'd go and talk about it, and I'd give my little 2 cents before the whole channel started, before I knew G and stuff. I'd pop on Kopish and ask that question, and I'd be in the chats with the likes of Jamrock and the rest of these guys, Phil Banda, and they'd be like, "No, what are you talking about? No way!" And we're having these conversations. I don't want to be proved wrong, like right. I don't want someone to be like, "Oh, you were right. You were right."
Yeah.
I want you guys to be like, nah, see, I told you can change.
100%. 100%.
I wanted Gakpo to be the missing link that Pep Linders spoke about. I wanted that. But missing link to what? What did Gakpo change in that game?
Thank you. That's what I said. What did we learn?
Forget whether you think he played well or not. I think he was decent. I think you could see technically he's far superior to Nunez. I think he's going to be better playing on the left. I think he's just going to be a better player, in my opinion. I can see it already. Like first little cameo, that first touch he did with his left foot onto his great little movement. Do you know what I mean? The little link up. The fact he was trying to be direct. He was brave in that game. The team weren't great. I hear it. Cool. But what? What did it change in the game? What difference did it make? Why are we still conceding chances down the middle? Why is Ait Nouri able to take the ball on the half turn from the air, skip past Fabinho like he's not there, from the left to the right? Trent, for how he's been amazing as well. He's been amazing since like let's be honest, like that ball he played into, he's been great. But he got skipped past as well. There's a couple of times he got skipped past and stood. Been defensively, been solid, but he's got. So what's changing in this team? These players, like the likes of Trent, when I'm thinking about it now, he hasn't gotten worse. It's not like he's playing in bad form. He's just been exposed.
Yeah.
These players are being exposed. Verge isn't doing anything that Verge didn't do before. Verge has never flown into tackles. He's never gone and crunched a man when he's had to crunch a man.
That's not his game.
It's not his game. But now he's being exposed. It all derives from the midfield. I don't understand why Klopp, you've done it before. You bought Minamino for 7.5 million. Get a midfielder in. Get someone with legs.
You see,
I said to you, when we spoke about the Gakpo signing, we spoke about the kind of the January window. Didn't I say, if we sign any midfielder, I don't care who it is, I'd give the window a 10 out of 10 because they're trying to address the situation. They're trying to address the situation. They're trying to say, you know what, cool, we need a midfielder. They're not even doing that. They're coming out saying we don't need a midfielder. And then fans and then others and pundits are going to try and be like, no, he's not really saying that. Well, you can't really believe in him. No, like trying to twist his words. It's like the, do you know what I mean? It's like looking at your mum getting battered by your stepdad, and then you're like, Mum, like, why are you allowing this? Why are you allowing this? And they say, nah, like, he loves me though. I was wrong, innit? It's just because I didn't cook him the food. He had a bad day at work, so I had to firm it.
The microwave was hot.
The microwave was hot, and you just got annoyed. Do you know what I mean? I was cleaning in the morning. I was cleaning, and he got annoyed, so he slapped me. But it's like, it's calm. It's my fault. Like, when are we gonna draw the line, people? Like, sorry, G, we're looking like here, and let's see if we can get this up, because this is just. Guys, make sure we're smashing a like as well, because I don't want to have to go and check the likes.
Yeah, I'm seeing over 50 people in here, man. I bet he's seeing 50 likes, bro.
Yeah, listen, if they're not over 50 likes, the interview's just going to get run straight. But look, we're looking at here.
Just about to send you just.
Yeah, but great example, right? We're looking here about our dual success rate this season. We're bottom.
Do you understand what that even means, guys? Like, and obviously I know a lot of you do it anyway, but like, do you deep this? Like, we are bottom of the dual success rate in a league that has Southampton. Who else is in there? Leicester,
Wolves that we faced, United,
Bournemouth. Take out United, yeah, because of where they are in the league.
Everyone else is United's one is skewed because of how they started. Remember,
exactly.
That was the worst start for 50 years.
Exactly.
So, like, that's skewed.
This has been us all season. Haven't been any different. We haven't even changed.
When we done the Bournemouth tactics, but what did we say? We had the stats. We got outrun by the opposition. Outrun we were.
And we won 9-0. Can you imagine? Winning 9-0 when you're still outrun.
This is not good enough. Like, when we got the stats up, and because it's FA Cup, we haven't been able to actually get the proper stats because FA is moving a bit mad. We'll have to get that to you later. But we looked at the stats like for the Premier League games, and Thiago not making any challenges or interceptions. Fabinho's not making any challenges or interceptions.
Very.
Like,
I don't know, bro. It's just getting to the point now where I'm just like, forget the blaming thing. I don't even care about that because it's not even a blame. It's just I don't understand what it is that you're trying to even achieve by just rinsing and repeating. I don't get it. Like, why are we going through this
it's
every
hope.
fucking game,
It's
bro?
hope, G. It's hope. It's sitting there. It's sitting there thinking. It's sitting there. Sorry,
I'm
it's
fully
sitting
throat.
there. No, that is moving mad. I'm saying I don't know why. But we're sitting there thinking, like, oh, hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Like, let's just do it because it's worked before. Let's just do it again. It's like I don't know what analogy to use to like get across to the people. Like,
big up, effortless. I just see your thing here saying I don't know if this is true. If it's true, yeah, but I'm gonna take it that it is
1.35 goals. This one, yeah.
1.35 goals
I mean,
conceded.
listen, we're definitely obviously we're conceding a goal every game. That's why I predicted 3-1. I knew we were
But
going to concede.
like, don't you like? Don't you think that's mad? Like, we went from a team, yeah, where conceding goals that we didn't really do that. Like, and if we did, it was like every now and again, you might concede a goal here. Like, we prided ourselves on getting these clean sheets and stuff like that. That was kind of like one of our things. Again, no successful team, especially in the Premier League, maybe out there in Europe, I don't know. In the Premier League, as I said on Jamie's show earlier on, no successful team can win or try and go for a league or anything like that based off of your defense being so shit. We tried it in 13-14. We conceded 50 goals in that season. Guess what? We didn't win. No team wins a league or even challenges for a league, so to speak, by conceding so many goals. It just doesn't. You'd have to have the 13-14 season where you got Suarez, Sturridge, and Sterling just bagging dumb amounts of goals in the league in order for you to even have an ounce of a chance. And that's an exception to the rule because of the season that they had. I don't remember another team having a season like that and finishing second and being able to challenge. Like, Klopp, can you just not see at all? Like, this is just not working, brother. Like, I don't know what other way. I wish I could speak German. Maybe I might be able to translate it better for him to understand. Maybe I wish I could speak Dutch. So I can translate it to Pep Yinders, so maybe he can understand. But can anybody just tell me why you think playing the same way and continuing in the same manner with the same players is supposed to change your fortune? I'm not saying that you just have to rip up, brother. He's been here for 7 years. So let's not act like he came yesterday. This is his first season and he's ripping up his whole ideas. He's been here for 7 years. We've seen the same shit for 7 years. So maybe you can find a way to be able to change what it is that you're doing. Still have the same, you might want to still do intensity. You might still want to do certainly be able to press and all this kind of crap. You can still do those kind of things, but it could be done in a completely different way that is going to be conducive to the team and allow the team to be a lot better defensively. Surely, Jerry, we get the stats up all the time after games, yeah, for shows. I know that me and you, we can't even get a quarter of the stats that these guys like that Pep and Klopp have that at their disposal. They have every single stat, as in how much every single metric that you need possible. So if you've got this after every single game, I'm not understanding that you've gone after every single game this season and said, no, we're good, bro. No, we can just carry on. It'll work. Cool, we lost the lead.
But this is the difference, isn't it? But this is what I've spoken about multiple times. If you're a team that relies, on the intangibles in football, so intensity, spirit, atmosphere,
passion, crowd,
passion, heart, all that type of stuff, right? And those are your core beliefs on how football's supposed to be won. Yeah, it's the reason why you go and buy the players that you do. It's the reason why you play the way you want to play. It's the reason why you want to be the underdog, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to play this underdog narrative, make it look as if it's us against the world, it's Liverpool against the world, it's the city against the world, everyone's against Liverpool, right? When that's your premise of playing football, what happens when those things stop working? That's all you've got. What have I said? What have I said about ways of playing football? You can't quantify what Liverpool do. When Pep Linders and guys, I urge everyone to go and watch Coach's Voice with Pep Linders. Yeah, it's actually fascinating. It's actually so it's important to understand how Liverpool play. Let him explain to you how Liverpool came back in that Barcelona 4-3 game. On aggregate, sorry, obviously, because we lost 3-0 in the game. The corner taken quickly game, people. Champions League semi-final at Anfield. He speaks about it like players were possessed. Henderson just done something no one could have ever done. Spirit. There was no tactical ploy. It was, we're just going to get at you. We have to. We've got nothing left. We have to. There's no other option. We want it more than you. All those types of stuff. You go back to Benitez and how we came back against AC Milan. It weren't about passion and fight. Although, yes, those things are needed in football. They are at certain times. They are.
Of course.
But when you speak about Carragher, when he talks about it, he doesn't say Benitez came in and gave some passionate speech about what needs to be done. He came in, calm, composed, was like, yeah, you're coming off. Yeah, Didi Hamann, you're coming on. Yeah, you're going to go and do this. We're going to play like that. You're coming off. It was like that.
It was cool, calm, and collected.
It was cool, calm, collected.
You would have thought we were winning 3-0. Like.
It was tactical. There was nuance. There was, this is how we're going to get away from that situation. And those things just require the players to play at their basic level. You're not requiring ridiculous amounts of energy and passion and absurd amounts of through balls and ridiculous quality at every given moment from Trent to go and put you ahead in a game, or a last-minute winner from Salah. You don't need that. Think of the goals Liverpool scored in that AC Milan game. It weren't no screamers from distance. It weren't no, do you know what I mean? It wasn't that type of game. You look at when City come back in games. Look when they came back against Aston Villa. It weren't passion that got them through that game. It weren't like the game, unless sometimes you need it in football. I'm gonna re-emphasize that. But it weren't like the game that happened against QPR. It weren't like the QPR game when it was just, this is just spirits and passion. That's why we love football. That game was calculated. All right, cool. We're gonna go this. We're just gonna probe until we get that goal because we know we're gonna go and get it.
Exactly. Patience, understanding.
That's the problem. This Liverpool team doesn't have patience because they don't know how to play in that system. Look, we're looking here and big up to Chris McAvoy, yeah? Big up to your damn self saying, look, I found these stats. This is the problem, right? Your tackles plus interceptions in the league, per 90, yeah? 4.4 for Thiago, ranked 51 in the league. 3.6 for Fabinho, ranked 104th in the league. 3.3 for Milner, ranked 151st in the league. And 2.2 for Henderson, ranked 262nd in the league. That's of all players. Listen to this. If this is our game and it relies so much on tackles on interception, because we want to do the game press, we want to go and press, our chances created. What has Klopp and Linda said about how we create our chances? Our chances pressing is the best playmaker in football. That's the narrative Klopp has brought down on this team. If that's the case, if you can't do this, then you can't do what you're saying. You can't create any chances. You can't play your game. You can't control games. You can't control games because you want to press in certain areas and win the ball back there. If you're not winning the ball back in that area and you're winning the ball back, it doesn't matter if you're winning the ball back at right back. If Trent's winning it back. Because then it means it doesn't matter. You're still not creating the chance that you want. So what happens now when you've got this stuff? Your solution is, I'll tell you what the solution is. The solution is let's not focus on a Gini Wijnaldum. Let's put a Thiago in there because he's a player that can go and do that. But what happens? A Thiago alone doesn't solve that problem for you. In a certain game, yes, he can come on and he can change the dynamic of a game. But he doesn't solve the problem of how do you break down a team that sits in a low block and gives you all the possession. Because we're a team that play better without possession. We've known this. Our best games this season have come against who? Tottenham and Spurs. No, sorry, Man City and Spurs. Man City and Tottenham. Spacing behind. They're not respecting our team really like that. So when they're not respecting it, they're spacing behind. We can press them. We can counter them. But we don't have the ball. So what's happened? Thiago now, he's not going to transform Liverpool's midfield like that. He doesn't go and and do you know what I mean? The centre backs aren't going to play the way City centre backs play. Trent's not going to play the way City are going to play in possession, or Arsenal. We're not that type of team. So what happens is Thiago then ends up having to do the work that Genie had to do originally. It's not about Genie; it's about that type of player.
You
We're
know,
so far removed. Sorry, G. Just
No,
the
no.
last point. We're so far removed from what made Liverpool good. So far removed in terms of
That's it.
player profile, in terms of what we do, in terms of our intensity, in terms of our style of play. We're now doing this wishy-washy, possession-based, high-intensity, long ball game. Like, what is this?
It's like we've got 3 different managers trying to manage.
We do. FSG, Klopp, and Linders.
And Linders,
Those are the
yeah.
3 managers.
It's funny. So the first thing I was going to say is, guys, let's just deep how many players there are actually in the Premier League, and we're supposed to be a team that's challenging. And look where our midfielders are ranked. These are midfielders who play constantly. That's the first thing. The second thing is we prided Jurgen Klopp, and we praised Jurgen Klopp for. And this is why I say FSG and Klopp, 2 different conversations in regards to what you think about them, etc., etc. Yes, I agree with everyone. I do want these owners out, like just purely because they're not necessarily funding us the sums of money I feel that we're going to need to be able to make this squad better. Totally agree with that. But then we prided Klopp on being able to work on a small budget, being able to work with the players that he's got, being able to develop these players, being able to get the best out of all of these players, get blood out of stone, effectively. That's what we prided Klopp on. So I then say, okay, so if we prided him on that, why is it now that we're still asking him to do the same job? He signed a new deal to do the same job. So obviously the standard I'm holding him up to is going to be of a standard of, okay, well, if you was able to do that before, I don't understand why you're not able to do the same thing now. The problem that you've got now is that, again, as Jerry has spoken about numerous times before, the style and tactic of the way that we play is just not sustainable, and it's just not going to be long-term sustainable. That style is fantastic for a short period of time. Fantastic. I can't diss it. I can't say anything bad against it when we've done it for 2 seasons. 18, 19, 19, 20. Those 2 seasons, Liverpool were amazing. They played fantastically well. You saw the best from Gini, Fabinho, Hendo, Trent, Robbo, everyone. You saw the best. But you also saw that there was other teams who weren't really up to that kind of level. Brighton weren't as good as they are now. Newcastle weren't as good as they are now. Arsenal weren't as good as they are now. United weren't as good as they are now. And obviously everybody else that's obviously there. It was only really us and City. We were at this kind of level. But credit to us, we're at this level. Now that you've got all of these other teams who have upped their own level, it just almost seems like, right, I'm starting to sit here and think, and I don't want to discredit, but I'm starting to sit here and think, were we even at that level? Or were just everyone that shit at that period of time?
Do you know what it is? When you couple someone that's a great man motivator, you have a great system. And I'm going to bring this up because Mo Fawaz, big up to yourself. To be fair, you told me, I'm pretty sure it was on Hussam's channel. You told me we're going to beat Wolves. Battering Wolves, you said. Right? What happened there? Anyway, so we won every trophy with Klopp with just spirit and no tactics. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's football. Of course, they're going to be tactics. And yes, we won trophies. What I'm saying is, it's the system. It wasn't the tactics. You look at Ancelotti. Why Ancelotti doesn't have a system that he just runs with everywhere he goes. It's the tactics. What players do I have at my disposal? It's the tactics. What team am I facing? The tactics are going to change. Liverpool don't do that. When have you seen Klopp do something like Mourinho-esque and say, you know what, we're going to go and put Joe Gomez in midfield today because we want to destroy their number 10. The way Mourinho put Zuma in midfield a couple times. The way he put David Luiz in midfield. Never. When is he ever gone away from his formation unless there's injuries? Unless he's forced to.
And even then, only this season have I ever realistically seen it.
Injuries, bro. When the forwards start dropping, when the midfielders are gone, what happened when the midfielders were gone? We went with a 2 in midfield and played a number 10 because we had to. Not because it was by design or by choice. And that's what I'm trying to say. You're talking about, you're saying, oh, were we that good? We were that good. The problem is, the stars had to align. Klopp's message had to get through to the players. Klopp's message had to get through to all of the players. They all had to buy into it. Every signing had to be on point. There couldn't have been a period where one of the players dropped off. In the season we won the league, name me a player that was, he was decent. He wasn't that great, but they still won it. Name me a player.
I don't even think, nah. I mean, we played the same 11 more or less every week, so nah, I can't even say
No, exactly. City, what were people saying about Grealish last season?
Yeah, they wasn't really that good. Goals,
What
assists.
were people saying about who? Their centre-backs last season?
Ruben Diaz isn't that good.
Not great. Yeah. Not that great. Ederson, what were they saying about him last season? Not that good, right? Not that good. Yet what happened? They still won the league. That's the difference. That's the difference.
But also, you see it this season though. It's like because at first I bought into this, but then I started to deep it. Really, I was like, people keep saying, yeah, City have dropped off this season, and I guess if you're talking about position wise, or I don't know what people are talking about in that sense, but at first I did buy into it. I was like, yeah, man, they're not the same. But then I was like, hold on, I need to deep it for a second. City are second in the Premier League, 5 points behind top of the table. If this is a drop off, fuck me, like genuinely fuck me, because if that's a drop off, what is going on at Liverpool then? Because to me, this is a drop off. Like, and this is a massive drop off. We've gone from a team who second or whatever, trying to challenge with Manchester City, to a team who are fighting with Brighton and Brentford. And this is through the case of just a couple players then being injured in certain positions, and then obviously curtailing, and then we've had now more and more injuries over time. But I don't understand how the drop off this season has been so mad. And we're in this, like, I'm trying to think of the right words, but I just don't get how we're in this position. And when I look back at the games that we have drawn and lost and things like that, we've had injuries. Of course, we've had injuries. But when I'm looking at some of these games where we've had injuries, I still don't see why we wouldn't have won those games. It's not like we, again, against Wolves being one of them. We've got all of these injuries. Van Dijk, Diaz, Jota, whoever else they're injured. Yeah, they're unavailable. Are we sitting here trying to tell me that team shouldn't have beat Wolves? Like, the injuries, and this is why I keep saying the injuries can be used if it's players like Van Dijk is going to be injured alongside Mo Salah, alongside Thiago, alongside Alisson, alongside cool. You got 5 players, like 5 of your key players out. I get it. Most teams are not going to be able to handle having 5 of your best players all out at the exact same time for a prolonged period of time. It doesn't really happen like that. It'll be very unlikely. Even Manchester City would struggle. But we've had players just out at different points. And I don't get why the level has dropped so dramatically. But Jerry's saying it here for everybody. Like, at the end of the day, it's the system. System and tactics are two different things. As he mentioned about Carlo Ancelotti, he didn't go to Madrid. He didn't go to Everton and play the same way that he's playing now at Real Madrid. You can't. They're two different profiles of team, two different profiles of players. He's got to play a different way that he played at Everton than he does at Real Madrid. It would just make sense because of the players he's got available at Real Madrid as opposed to the players that he's got available at Everton. When I'm watching these kind of managers, Ancelotti, even Conte to a certain degree, but maybe not him so much this season, but Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, when I'm watching these guys, this is why I love these guys, especially Pep and Jose Mourinho, is because, as Jerry said, it's not even really about the system. It's about being able to combat the team. Yes, you're going to have your general system that you're going to want to play 90% of the time, but like we saw with Jose Mourinho in the 13-14 season, I think they finished 3rd behind us that season. So they weren't going for the title or anything up to a point, they weren't going for the title. They weren't realistically going to win it. They were coming into that game because they knew how Liverpool played and they knew how to nullify us. So he played in a completely defensive manner because he knew that would derail us and that would curtail us in that game. And then we ended up not winning. Steven Gerrard, blah, 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 blah. We've seen Manchester City do it. People laugh at Pep Guardiola because he tinkers and he's got 3 at the, I saw the formation, 3 at the back and like 2 in midfield and 4 in front of that and then 1 in front of that. We all laugh at these kind of things. And Sometimes he does overdo it to a certain extent, but he's doing that to be able to combat the team that he's playing against, so that he doesn't become predictable, so that he's not playing every single game and you know exactly what he's going to do. He's got his system. So the system will always remain possession-based game where they're able to potentially try and win the ball back as quickly as possible. But if not, they're back in their shape and it folds back into like a 4 at the back, even though they start with 3, but they fold back into a 4. Rodri comes in at centre back. And then obviously the midfield, whoever's in there, obviously then formulates and then they go. But when they are playing the game and they're in their transitions, whether it be defensive or attacking, it's completely different. And every game is almost different. It isn't the same thing. You're able to play Grealish one day, Mahrez another day, Foden another day, Bernardo Silva another day, Alvarez, Haaland. You're able to change Kevin De Bruyne. You're able to change it up so much that you do not become predictable, even though the system will remain the same. That's what we're asking from Klopp. I'm not even necessarily saying that you'd have to change up your ideology so much. What I'm asking is that in different games, put Matt at defensive midfield, or Gomez, if you want to use Gomez as the example that Jerry used. Put Gomez defensive midfield. Put Matt at defensive midfield. Play a 3 at the back today, but still do your high intensity, whatever you want to do. If you still want to do that, then cool. But let's change it up a little bit, because we're playing against a team who are playing like this. We're playing against a team that's going to play a low block. So we know we can't break them down playing 4-3-3 that we continuously keep doing. So how about we just try something different? I don't really get it. Like why we continue to do the same things over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's not making a lot of sense. I'm struggling to look at how I just don't see, like, how does anyone have faith that anything's going to go and change? I mean, if we go and look at this game today, right? This game against Wolves. I'm gonna be crazy. You know, if I went and saw, you know what, Klopp went and put Gakpo in midfield, and we saw something different. We saw something mad. Even me for that, I'd have been like, oh, you know what, cool. You're trying something different. We're trying. If you had gone and played,
hold on, I'm gonna leave and come back and say my Wi-Fi. These lot saying
your Wi-Fi is bugging out. Your Wi-Fi is bugging out.
Let me leave and come back.
Yeah, cool. We'll come back. But yeah, people. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, cool. What's the change? What's next? Because like we're looking at this game, and this is a perfect game for me for Klopp to go and test things out. Because I know some people would argue, look, the FA Cup is important. It's one of the only trophies we could win. Ram was on the show and we spoke about it, and Ram was saying, look, FA Cup's really important for him. For me, it has to be top 4. It has to be top 4. Currently, we're so far away from it. If we don't get top 4, that's dire. That's dire for Liverpool. Dire. Liverpool not achieving top 4. Forget the Carabao. Forget the FA Cup. Forget Champions League. Liverpool not getting top 4 is actually more detrimental than Liverpool not having a midfielder this season, and I'll tell you why. Currently, we can still go and attract players. What happens when we can't get top 4? Do you think Amrabat would come to Liverpool if he has Champions League available to him? Maybe. I don't think so. Would Bellingham? Definitely not. And if Liverpool's transfer policy has been surrounded and it's been so like acutely skewed in the position of, you know what, we need Bellingham. Bellingham's our savior. If we don't get top 4, it's over. Then what? Then what for Klopp? FSG didn't support me. Well, they gave you Matheus Nunes. And Matheus Nunes, people, looking at the stats, and it's crazy, completed more take-ons than any other player on the pitch, which was 3, and as many as the entire Liverpool team combined. He only played 27 minutes, people. 27 minutes. It's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. It's not good enough.
Let me know if it's still lagging. I don't know if it is.
No, you're good, man. You're good now.
Okay.
But it's just not good enough at all. So I
just heard that stat that you just said. So how many minutes did he play?
27 minutes.
A bumper class. You're telling me you played 27 minutes and you're getting in more than the players that have played more or less 90 minutes, if not more than the 20 minutes that you play. Like I say, guys, man, I don't know what else to realistically say. I don't know what more Jerry can say. I don't even know how else we can even put it in order for us to be able to kind of articulate it in a way that kind of shows you. Again, I'm not psychic. Jerry ain't psychic, to my knowledge, anyway. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. For all we know, Klopp gets apparently wants two elite midfielders. Maybe he gets in these elite midfielders, and all of a sudden, Liverpool's fortunes change just like that. All of a sudden, we go back to being that team. I mean, I don't see it, but it might happen. I can't sit here and act like that's not a possibility. But I can only go on the evidence that's been shown by Klopp throughout this period of time, especially this season. And I said it on Jamie's show. This is where I judge you as a manager. I'm not judging you necessarily when we're winning, because the reality is when you're winning, as Jerry said, the stars aligned and everything kind of came into place. I need to know, what are you like when things are going to shit? So I keep referring back to that season that we had, the centre backs out and stuff like that. I wanted to see how he managed that situation. Didn't really handle it well. The excuse was, though, at that time, it's FSG's fault. It's FSG's fault. They're not giving us money for a centre back. This, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I bought it for a little bit. I said, yeah, man, it's all FSG's fault, man. Klopp's doing this, that, and the third. When he finally did put centre backs in there, we then turned into a team who was able to, dominate the games the same way that we were dominating games before. We were top of the league at one point in that season, prior to everything kind of going to shits. And then I see him in this kind of situation. Again, another situation where things are going to shits. How do you handle it? Again, guys, I don't want anyone to sit here and think here that even if we were six, like how we are now, if I could see that you are trying something different and we can see it, a bit like Arsenal fans with Arteta and why the Arsenal board kept him, even though they did poorly, obviously, at the beginning of last season. That's why they kept him, because they could see, even though the team wasn't performing, to the levels that they wanted them to be and that they probably maybe expected, they could see something. They could see, what, if we actually, and probably the reason why they ended up backing him in the first place was then to say, what, we can actually see that there's a plan here. We can actually see what you're trying to do. You know what? We've got a lot more trust in you in order for you to do that. What can we see from Klopp that's telling us, yes, let's give Klopp 300 million and let him go out and do that? We're not seeing any of that. There's no evidence of that. So why would we sit here and believe that he's going to then get all of this money and and things are just going to change like immediately? I'm not even seeing what you're trying to do. Jerry said it before. It's like we got three managers here. FSG, Klopp.
Yeah, go on, Curry. Finish off.
No, I was just going to say FSG, Klopp, and Pep Yinders. And we're playing three different kind of systems with Klopp's players, Pep Yinders players, and FSG's players, and we're trying to mull them into a team. How? Go on.
It's mad. Speaking of molding players into a team, breaking news, people. Chelsea are in advanced talks to sign Joao Felix on loan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So there's another club making moves for a position that they need because they haven't got any goals.
And they need a striker.
Sterling's injured, need a striker. Hey, anyway, just thought I could break that to you people. Be one of the first people to do that. Just breaking news on Sky Sports. But look, just looking at the tactics before we kind of get into the comments and then kind of head out. This was obviously the lineup in which, like, kind of in the way in which we started. As you can see, we're in our usual 4-3-3. We know the lineup. Gakpo started on the left. This is really interesting. Watford went with a 4-4-2. Wolves. Sorry, apologies. Wolves went with a 4-4-2.
I know he's got the yellow.
Yeah, always happens. But Wolves went with a 4-4-2. Now, barring a couple of their players, which are actually quite poor, the likes of Hodge wasn't that great. Totti was actually shocking, apart from the goal. He's a bozo. He's another bozo. Sarkic didn't really start well. The game was really uneventful. And I think what's really important, and I think when I'm seeing now, is just in terms of a numbers game, you know Robertson and Trent are going to be pushed high, right? You know they are. We're actually matching up with 2 in midfield against the 3. So we've got our 3 and they've got a 2. So they're taking a gamble saying, you know what? We're still going to hit a low block. We're still going to go and like sit back and try to hit you on the counter. But we don't need 3 midfielders in there because your midfielders don't do anything anyway. No one makes any runs into the box. No one's going to track any runners. You just got to stay in your shape and stop the ball going into Gakpo, Salah, and Nunes. Just shutting off passing lanes. You do that, you do half your job. Now, they're not the best team defensively either. It worked. It worked because you go into this still, and I managed to get this still quickly. Look at what we're doing. Fabinho can't get on the ball. Thiago coming, as I said, deeper than anyone in that midfield to come and try to get on the ball, almost in that left-back position. We're just passing.
It's like having 2 defensive mids.
And you can see they're comfy in their 4-4-2. Comfy. This is shocking because Liverpool back in the day, I remember what happened. What did we used to do? We used to come up against teams that would play 4-5-1. And it meant they couldn't attack because the ball would go up. And what happens? Virg just deals with that one striker up top.
You see that still? You see that still that you just had up there, yeah? I'm looking at it, yeah? So obviously we play 4-3-3. So why do you have both? Like, I don't know where that ball originally just came from before it got to Konate, who's then passing it to Matip. So maybe that might give me an answer.
It came from Thiago.
So Thiago to Konate. Okay, cool. I'm just confused why both Fabinho and Thiago are both like, can they not see the game? Either one of them, whether it's Thiago, obviously he's on the ball, so maybe not him necessarily. But Fabinho, like, you've come so deep that they're 2 strikers. One of them can easily mark you. So that's already cut off now, which then means we've only got 1 central midfielder left.
Yep.
And
against their 2. Against their 2.
Against their 2.
They know their 2 midfielders vacate the midfield. So the problem I have with Thiago, and I've always said it, I'm going to get that still up. So sorry if you can't see our faces, people. I wish I had actually had a cursor, like I could draw lines on this. But
yeah, for real.
But yeah, so as you can see, the number 3, so the guy next to the 2 most advanced players in yellow, so which are Guedes and Jimenez, that's Fabinho. And then right at the bottom of the picture, not to the left, not the one pointing, that's Robbo. That's obviously Thiago, for anyone that can't see. Thiago is always on the periphery of the game. And what I mean by that is even if this line was advanced, even if we were pressed up, he'd be on the periphery. He'd be jogging from Konate to Matip, to Thiago, to Robertson, popping around and, just moving the ball about. We don't need him here. We don't need Thiago here. We need Thiago in the half spaces. We need Thiago high on the pitch, getting the ball on the half turn, making the midfielders think, oh, you know what, I've got to turn my head. He's dropping way too deep because, Fabinho, even if he drops in there, and he's done it a couple of times, A, he hasn't got the legs to get back, which just causes a problem, but B, he's just not good enough. He's just not good enough on the ball to go and get the ball on a half turn like that. We played the video of Gini Wijnaldum a couple streams ago. Look where he was getting the ball. Look where he was getting the ball. Look where he was receiving it. High up the pitch. Enabling us, being that link. Thiago's not a link from midfield to attack.
Yeah.
He's not.
I agree.
So now, he gets on the ball and keeps possession. Plays no incisive passes anymore. Plays the odd long ball. Odd outside of the boot pass and a couple of shimmies. That's a massive issue. For the way we want to play, we need to change him. He was supposed to be the icing on the cake, not the player we rely on.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got the system or the players to go and play like that. So now we're relying on Henderson to be our most advanced midfielder in the half spaces, turning, getting on the ball and threading through balls.
Which I find hilarious.
The way in which Iniesta did. The way in which Bernardo Silva does, or Gundogan.
Which I find hilarious. Of all the players that you've got in the team.
It's madness. You're looking at it again, and look at where Thiago's starting position is. As they advance, he should be in the half spaces. Gakpo should be in between Lembisika. Salah should be isolating Joni. Thiago needs to be in between Traore, Neves, in between Neves, Hodge. He needs to be in those spaces because when he gets the ball, he's got the quality to go and find the other players. Right now, he's too far away. But then, whether that's by design or whether that's just him as a player, you're hiding there for me. It's a hiding position. When you keep coming short to get the ball, you're hiding. But sometimes I think you have to do it to make space. Yes. Look at what Gavi does for Spain. Look at the positions he was picking up the ball when we were doing our World Cup series. It's in the half spaces. We're not doing that at the moment. We're not. But again, I guess I was about to say, it just goes back to, so then what are the instructions being given to him? Because either you're right, it's him just doing it, like, because he feels more comfortable doing that, and then Klopp's kind of just allowed, all right, cool, you can just, do that, get the ball kind of ticking, but it's to no real effect. Probably why his stats might even look good, passings and all these kind of different things. Like, they probably do look good because I don't feel like, as you said, nothing is really affecting the game, so to speak. He is just on the periphery. Like, as you say, he jogs up and down, picks the ball up from the centre back sometimes, or from Robbo, or from Trent, pass it back, and he does keep the ball ticking. And I get that because, as you said, you do need that at times, but it's to no real effect. I feel like our possession stats are always skewed because we play a lot of these kind of just meaningless. I'm not saying you have to. Passes. Yeah, sideways passes. It's a lot of sideways passes where you want to go and play an incisive pass. He doesn't play the incisive pass. No, you're asking, is Trent and Robbo that are actually playing? It's Matip that's playing the incisive pass, running through and trying to find the first man because that's direct. I thought Thiago, one of the things I heard, or I kept seeing, Sky Sports put it up, and various other pages and stuff like that put it up in the year that we signed Thiago. He was supposed to be the assist before the assist guy. That's what I thought he was coming to be. I thought he was going to be that guy who gives the ball to whoever, they get the assist, or he gets the odd assist, here and there. I'm not seeing that. I'm really, really not seeing that from Thiago. And guys, I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not going to speak for Jerry, but I'm not saying that Thiago's shit or nothing, and I'm sure Jerry isn't saying that. Of course, Thiago's a very, very good player. Far from it. Exactly. I'm actually saying that his ability means that we need to utilize a different aspect of that. We shouldn't be asking him to do the periphery stuff. And I know Ryan's saying, big up to Ray, and Ryan saying, oh, you look, Thiago's more of a link from defense to attack than with Gino Wijnaldum. No, he's not. He's not. I'm telling you now, look at the passes that Thiago goes and plays. It's 1-2s from him and Thiago. It's the odd long pass. Yes, that's into space when he goes and sees it. He's got the vision. He's a quality player. What's he going to do? Pop it around. Gives it to Henderson. He gives it to Robbo. Trent is more of a link. Yeah. Henderson's more of a link. Go look at where Henderson gets the ball. That's why I want Thiago. If Henderson's getting the ball ahead of Thiago in his positions, he's the link. He's not part of the attack. Back in the day, Henderson used to go and do the covering role for Trent. When Wijnaldum was on the edge of the box doing the 1-2s. He was pressing alongside. I just don't get it. I don't get the role that Thiago's doing right now. I don't get it, and it's becoming worrying. So it's funny. Big up Chris McAvoy. Thiago plays so many hospital, and this is the problem when you've got someone who's so, like, he's so confident on the ball. He's so like he trusts his own abilities, which he should, because his abilities are very, very good. He's the most technical player that we probably have in the team in a general sense. But with someone like this, and then when he tries to play some of these passes, into midfield, or what usually happens is someone from the attack has to drop super deep in order to receive some of the passes that he makes. I'm always like, bro, I understand you trust your abilities, but there comes a point where, we need to kind of keep it simple. I showed you the other day when we played against Manchester City, where Thiago was picking up the ball in the corner, by the corner flag,
where he's giving hospital passes back to the centre-backs, where the centre-backs are left in no real other option other than, yes, you can hoof it forward, but they might want to try and still continue play out the back. So then we end up giving the ball away to Manchester City. That's what we kept doing in that Manchester City game, was because Thiago was always dropping deep, trying to receive the ball, trying to draw players in, but then you're getting caught out against, especially against a team like Man City, which I know is one-offs, but against a team like Manchester City who love things like that because they hunt like there's no man's business. If you continuously keep doing that, you're going to keep putting the team in danger, purely from your own actual ability, which is actually funny. That's why I'm like, with Thiago, I don't really get what is your role within this midfield, because I think that you've been told a role, but the game is starting to dictate you a lot more. So you're ending up doing tackles. He's our best defensive midfielder, technically speaking, in terms of the defending side of things, when it should be Fabinho or a Henderson. You know, for some reason it's Thiago, but then he's also the guy that keeps the ball ticking. He's also the guy that's trying to do the shimmies. He's also the guy that, I understand, yes, it then looks like he's doing everything by himself, but are you taking that onus on? Are you listening to the instructions that are being given? Hence the reason why I'm like, it's becoming a player versus manager thing over here, because either you're not listening or whatever the instructions that have been given to you is just not working for the game in itself. So I don't know how to really look at it, bro.
Yeah, it's as I said, I think but this, it then goes back to Klopp. It's the lack of tactical nous. It just is, because if you can see that it's not working, you have to kind of change the game. If you get a Thiago in, you have to kind of understand what you're doing with a Thiago, and it's starting to look like me like Thiago's not necessarily a Klopp signing. It's a signing that we made, like the Gakpo one. There was a deal to be made. Let's just do it. Yeah, we just went into B&M and saw, bro, they got the radiators, bro, down from £50. It's January sales down to $39.99, bro. And
you know, when your mum finds deals. You know, your mum just goes out, she finds a deal.
Just comes back with like 5 radiators. They're like, yeah, sure, I'll ship it back to Ghana, innit? I'll ship it back to Ghana.
And I'm just like, but we didn't need 1 radiator, let alone you got 5, like, but they're on sale.
Like, Uncle Nana and Uncle Kwesi need a radiator, so we got it, we send it. That's what they're saying. But that's what they're saying. We send it. We send it.
You didn't need to buy the fucking radiator in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. My Polish grandma coming back, be like, yes, JJ, I went to go get this, you know, and I found, you know, cream, loads of cream. I can send it back. Like, bro, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
why did you buy it?
Why did you buy all this cream, bro? And do you know what happens? No one wants the cream. So
no one wants the cream. Exactly.
You don't know what to do with it now. You don't know what to do with it. So you start saying, oh, there's Christmas. I'm going to give it for Christmas. Birthdays. You start chucking in with it like it's a deal. You know, like you don't want it. You like it like a leaflet. Do you know what I mean? You're going to visit your mum and you're getting your thing of jollof and it's coming with some soap, bruv. Some soap.
So you're like,
what is this? I'll take it. Bruv, but it's just... Bruv, I'm starting to not get it. I'm just starting to not get it. That's
actually fucking hilarious, you know.
Bruv, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know when I'm gonna get it. That's the problem. I don't know when I'm gonna look and be like, you know, cool. Like, I get it. I get what Klopp's trying to do, and I just want change. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I'd actually really respect Klopp if he just said, you know what, and done an Aubameyang and said, these players are dead. Fabinho, you're washed. You're washed. You're not even getting in. You're not even on the bench anymore, bro. Badgertich, you're starting. And you're running it 5, 6, 7 games straight, like Badgertich. I'll be like, you know what? He's trying to change something. Even if it's mentally, he's trying to change something. What is he doing to motivate these players?
That's another thing.
I was listening to a certain channel, and I'm not going to say the channel because I don't want to kind of get rude. But the channel was saying, yeah, like what's missing is like Klopp, he's probably giving him a bollocking, and like he's just. I'm like, a bollocking? Is that what a bollocking? What, the hairdryer treatment? Is that your answer to the? What we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? Like, that's not the solution. How else are you going to motivate the players? The contracting didn't work. Giving Henderson the contract didn't work. Giving Salah the contract didn't motivate him. It didn't.
But we look at. Again, and we have to compare, because obviously these are his peers at the end of the day. That's the only people we can look at. What Arteta did. Aubameyang, captain of the football club, one of the better players that they've signed in recent history, on the most wages that they've ever signed a player to. Yes, he's obviously got his few misdemeanors and things like that, but most clubs would be like, you know what, we'll allow it, etc., etc. He didn't take no bullshit. He didn't take any bullshit when it came to that. He made sure that Aubameyang understood and knew what time it was, because he knew that it was going to be to the detriment of the team, regardless of anything. I don't care where we finish, what we're doing. If you're not buying into what I'm trying to do, bro, you can go. And we look at Aubameyang's career right now. The guy's getting subbed on to get subbed off in games. Like, that's where his career is heading at this current moment in time. Arteta's sitting top of the Premier League table. So who's got the last laugh now? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And these are the kind of things that why I keep comparing him to different managers and different, because obviously we can take different things from each manager as to why they make them great, and you can create this complete and ultimate manager. But the reality is these managers are not doing things that are groundbreaking. Like, I don't feel like Pep Guardiola is doing anything that's so groundbreaking that Klopp couldn't, try and initiate into his kind of game. Arteta, the same thing. They're not doing anything that, like, oh my goodness gracious me, like these guys are doing something that I've never seen before. No, they're doing, in my opinion, what I would call the basics for elite managers, if that's where we're placing Klopp, which he is ultimately from what he's done.
But the thing is, and this is what I'm saying, hold on, we've got 77 people watching, and we only got 56 likes.
Yeah, guys, walk on.
You know what time it is? It is? We're not going to say anything anymore. Like, the people, just get the likes up, because we ain't carrying.
From now on, you know what? Before you even play that, from now on, if you see it, just play the intro. Now they're just going to know.
Yeah,
just play the intro.
Yeah.
They'll just know.
Let's go.
Captain's son.
Yeah, get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Guys, I know you got your burner accounts, man. Don't be silly now.
No, they've got the burner accounts, but they're there as well. They can like. They're lying to us. It's those good lies. It's those good lies.
Now I'm seeing it up 68.
Because I'm addicted to the good life.
Is it Romz?
Just say, my better head in our way. 69. I want to see 70. There we go. We're on 70. Big up you, man. Them.
Was that so hard?
Was that so hard? Like,
was that so hard?
but yeah, man. Like I'm saying, I just don't know what it is. And like I said, is this going to change? It's going to change from Klopp.
What's the date today?
9th.
It's the 9th. So we are on the 9th of January, guys. We've been talking about this from before the season even started, all the issues and all the problems. We are now 9th of January 2023, and we are still talking about the problems and the issues at Liverpool Football Club. During the summer holidays, we had the excuse of the transfer window. The transfer window closed. We then went to the season. We're now in January. What is the excuse now? Like, what is the excuse now, bro? Like, I don't understand as to what more needs to be said. If Klopp doesn't want to change it, at the end of the day, that's your hill to die on, my guy. Like, it's your job on the line. It's not my job. But at the end of the day, if you bounce tomorrow, I'm still here watching Liverpool. Jerry's still here watching Liverpool. All you guys in the chat are still watching Liverpool. So if Klopp doesn't want to change it, you know where the door is, my friend. I don't want to throw you out of that door because I don't want to disrespect you. But if you don't want to change it, that's my only option is to just throw you out of that door.
But the thing is, it's like that with everything in life, man. If you can see something's wrong and the brothers are telling you what's wrong and the board's telling you what's wrong and they're coming to you with midfielders and everyone's telling you what's wrong and you're still adverse and saying no, there's nothing wrong, then you're the problem. And at this moment in time, let's not beat around the bush. The biggest problem at Liverpool is Jurgen Klopp. It's not FSG.
Yeah, of course.
It's not FSG because we're not talking about us losing to Man City, but we're battering everyone else.
Yeah.
And we can't beat Man City because their players are just far superior. We can't beat Wolves' B team. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. Look, let's just get through some of the comments as well. Romz as well. Romz saying Klopp needs to leave. Romz is on the train now. Rah. We've turned Romz, you know. This is 100%. We've got 100% rating, you know. You listen to us for 3 streams, you get that conversion course quick. You get I'm actually going to start making a certificate, man. I'm going to have to get it out. We're going to have to actually make the certificate. Just going to run through some of the comments before we head out, man. Big up to everyone in the building. And please make sure we keep smashing the likes if you're new. If you're watching this on the replay, keep smashing the likes as well. Yeah, let's get into it. We got LFC Aaron saying, I'd sooner we got knocked out than have the replay. It's painful watching us currently. Facts. Honestly saying, bruv, I don't care that we don't deserve to play a replay. You know why? Because when Real Madrid won against us in 2018 after Carri's 2 howlers, they didn't say, damn, the goals we scored don't count. But they weren't went against the rules. Like the offside is it's not the Alisson goal that like I'm looking at and I'm like, rah. Do you know what I mean? If we had scored a goal like that, the goal was onside and they said it's offside. That's technically cheating. But, you know, cool. Effortless saying, water always finds its level. We are overdue a battering, to be honest. A battering. Yeah, true. Angel 968 saying, Wolves' B team nearly done us at home. I know Angels lost it. Tahir saying, Liverpool sabotage the camera so VAR doesn't work. We've got Trudon saying, that's how Fabinho looks on the pitch right now. What, tired? Angel Anfield Road saying we should just tell the FA to give Wolves the match on grounds of self-honor.
That'll be the best thing we've done this season.
Trust, man. Albert Buafo saying Klopp wants to bring in a German goalkeeper.
You know, if Liverpool sign a goalkeeper in the transfer window, I feel like there'll be riots outside of Anfield. Like,
no, they won't. They'll be like, but you know what? We need competition for Kelleher because he's not getting games, and we need competition. That's what we're gonna say. Yeah, it's a replacement for Adrian. That's what will happen.
Yeah,
that's what. So we need squad depth. Angel saying, I did say I wanted Naby over Elliott. What about Ox? Played well and scored, then he doesn't start. I don't know how this man management thing's working. I don't know when someone's... Those are the players you actually got to rely on right now because they've got nothing to lose. Gagandeep saying, Jerry, don't worry. We got Pitaluga coming through. Bun Pitaluga, man. The one at Mansfield, dead. Effortless saying, Alisson has arguably been our best player for the past few years. I'd never be opposed to him starting. Just a rare meh performance. No. Performance.
Yeah.
I wanted Keller to play.
Like, yeah. It's just more out of preference.
But how do you keep a player like that motivated?
Yeah.
He's only getting Carabao Cup games. When is he ever going to play? Under 23s. He's too good for that. I think he's too old for that now. Anyway, he's 24.
Yeah, man. He's kind of part. It's not to say we're not calling Alisson shit. Like, Alisson's been superb. Don't worry about Alisson. We're just saying, like as Jerry said, how do you keep a player like that motivated to stay at your football club if you don't even give them the shitty games? Like, you're not even giving him that.
Exactly. The Ram stand saying, these are the questions we need to ask about Klopp, in-game tactics and stuff regarding in-game stuff. We have to question whether you're so-called Klopp in or Klopp out. True. Very, very true. Very, very true. G, I'm going to run this question to you. Answer as quickly as possible. Jamrock saying, are elite managers incapable of having a plan B?
I'll throw that question back to everyone in the chat. Is Klopp an elite manager? And if he is then you've got your answer to the question. I think they need to have a plan B. I think there's this notion that they don't have a plan B. Back in the days, the managers always had a plan B. It's only Pep and it's like since Pep and Klopp, and even Pep's had plan Bs. I've seen him come against Liverpool and say we're just going to go long ball over the top into Foden. We don't do any of that. That's what I said. If you think Klopp's an elite manager, cool. So then why doesn't he have a plan B? You know what I mean? He's the only one, it seems like, who doesn't have a plan B. So it is what it is.
Trust. Effortless saying, guys, are we overreacting here? The underfunding, overperformance and overachieving. We were always bound to have a season not dominating the league. Water always finds its level.
Yeah, so we have only ever dominated the league once in 7 years. So, of course, I'm not going to think that that's something that we can sustain. At the end of the day, I'm just talking about being at a level. Like I said, I'm not bogged down You guys know I'm very meticulous. You know Jerry's very meticulous as well. We're not bogged down necessarily on positions in the league. Of course, that will play a major part. We're talking about the overall performance of the team in itself. Can we see something? I don't mind sitting fifth or sixth or whatever if I can see something. At the moment, we're not seeing anything, and it's just rinse and repeat. That's my issue. It's not really about are we overreacting because we're not dominating in the league. We've never dominated in the league. We had one season of domination. So I'm not used to seeing us dominate anyway. I'm just more used to seeing us at a level where it allows us to be able to compete. When Klopp first came, I saw something. I saw what he was trying to do. We won. I saw something. Now, since we won the Premier League, I've not seen anything.
That's what it is, man. Chris saying, I found you saw that already. Angel saying Liverpool sign a non-aggression pact. Do Liverpool sign a non-aggression pact before every game? Winners of the Fair Play Award, maybe that Fair Play.
Big man think we win that thing too much, man.
Yeah, no, but I don't want to see that. I want to see some nastiness.
I think he win it.
I want to see some nastiness. Like I think we're too soft. We're too soft. Like we're too soft. Effortless saying we do not have the players to use our most comfortable system. Misreading from Klopp in thinking that the same players that were moments away from winning it all could go again. I can't begrudge him. I can, because I could see we weren't moments away from winning it all. We were moments away from winning it all, but that's where it counts. It's moments. It's like saying Nunes. It's like saying we can't begrudge Nunes because he just kept causing so much chaos. We thought he was going to score, but he just didn't end up scoring. And as a result, we didn't get top four in a particular game. You're not gonna be like we begrudge him for that. You're gonna be like, bruv, it was moments, and in moments he weren't clinical. In moments, Klopp has come unstuck.
We need to stop acting like this is a one-time thing. We need to stop acting like we've not had flipping seasons where we've been a point away. Like this isn't the first time that Liverpool have been moments away. This has been a continuation. This is a theme of Jurgen Klopp's time here. We are always behind, like always, bar one season.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Mo, big up Mo. Mo saying always exaggerating you lot. Wow, big up. Anfield saying strong links to Coop Miners, another Pep signing. You know what? If you want to go and talk about Coop Miners, I think we just need anyone. But if you want a proper rant and reaction, go check out Albert Boafo's opinion on Coop Miners from the preview stream. It was incredible. It was, by the way, people stand by because the Albert rant is actually being edited currently. So when that drops, that's going to be amazing. That's actually just going to be a video by itself. So yeah, big up to Albert for that one. Serge Gamer saying our system has been the same since 17-18. Only thing that changed was when we needed a player, we would get them 2 windows after we initially needed them, which built up to too many players needed. Facts. On top of that, our system has stayed the same. It's teams that have changed the way they play against us, which means that the system has a different output, isn't it? It's like you know when you're mad hungry, innit? And you're mad hungry. If I was to go and make you food, you're gonna box the whole thing off. If you've ate 5 meals before that and I make you that same food, it's not gonna slap as much. Like you're just not gonna eat the same amount. You're not gonna enjoy it as much because you're already full. And that's what it is. It's like it's just different. It's the different styles against us. That means that the system has a different outcome.
That's why I mentioned before. That's what I was getting at before when I mentioned about us being so good, but the other teams being so shit. And now we've reached a level where the teams have gotten a lot better in terms of whatever. And now we're starting to see that what was working for us before isn't clearly working now because people have now wised up to it. So yeah, it is what it is, man.
Effortless saying, look, Thiago knows that if he gets forward, he can't get back. Same with the others. That's why there are so many positional vulnerabilities. Yeah, and whose fault is that? Change the system then. Change the system. Big up to Honesty. Honesty was asking. Sorry, I've just missed the chat. Asking when can we super chat? Why can't we super chat in the show? The reason why we can't super chat is because we're not on 1,000 likes, people. 1,000 subs. Sorry, 1,000 subs.
Guys, if you want us to start super chatting, and then
like I said, no, but we get to 1,000 subs. The super chats are there. The memberships are open. You're gonna get different members' content, different like crazy content that you're not going to get anywhere else. And I promise you that for a fact. That
before the end of the season, guys, that is the target. Like maybe even before then, but we're trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers, man. So you guys can share this stuff out and get, like I said, get on your burner accounts and your YouTube premiums and start.
And the thing is, we're like 200 and like 60. We're like 260 subs away.
There you go.
It's not like get 260 subs, guys. Share it, guys. Do you know what I mean? At us, tag us, promote us on different channels. You do that, you get this. Do you know what I mean? The content comes. It means that we can go and do this more. It means that you're going to get different levels of content as well. So once that happens, do you know what I mean? But it's down to you guys. As I said, yes, we're on the channel, but we're representing you guys. We're representing you guys. So we're having a conversation for you guys, but that's why we like to go and have you on. That's why we're always engaging with the chat. That's why we try to read every single person's chat as well, comment as well, because this is as much your channel as it is our channel as well. So Chris saying last season it was broke. It wasn't broke. Why change it? That's what annoys me the most. And it's Linda's. He ran the preseason, which was a mess, and the rest is history. Potentially, but I think it was broke. I think the motivation was there. I think that's the difference. The motivation was there because you still thought you could do something and you still had the players to go and do it. When the players start leaving after you go and lose, the motivation isn't there anymore. Why do you think Mane left? The motivation is not there anymore to keep doing the same thing over and over again and running it back and reloading it. Doesn't want to do it anymore. Can't blame the players for that, to be fair. That's something I can't begrudge the players for. But look, it's been another tactics board. Big up to everyone been in the building. Before we head out, G, anything you want to say?
Guys, just like Jerry said, man, just keep subscribing if you haven't already. Share this out, you know, get this to as many people, smash those likes. Make sure you guys check out GTV as well. On the road to 200 now. So, you know, just, yeah, man, that's literally it, man. Let's get this all out, man. We want to have our voices heard. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, we all have our jokes with I'm not going to name them, but all these other channels and stuff like that. We all have our jokes, but the reality is they do represent what a lot of fans do think anyway on that side, and they're going to have that bigger voice. So what we're trying to do is have the real people speaking, the real fans who are actually, you know, really concerned about what's going on with the football club and also love the football club as much as those guys over there. Let's get our voice heard as well, man. So yeah, man, just keep liking, subscribing
as well. Like everyone, even if you disagree with us, that's the whole point. We want
of course,
there where we want a proper Discord, not one that's just 100% one way, 100% the other way. We're actually voicing our opinions, but that's why. I mean, when people come up with their opinions, we go and debate it. We bring people on. We had the Klopp in, Klopp out show that. I mean, you guys really, really enjoyed. We brought Ram on. That's actually Klopp in. So we brought him on because we want to go and have, that kind of debate. We've had FJ on before. He's a very, very passionate Liverpool fan. We want that conversation. We don't want it just one way. That's just not how football or conversations or debate should work. I think that's the best way you get a well-rounded opinion. But look, big up, big up to Mo for Wazi. I mean, like you disagree with me all the time, but you know what it is, man. You know what it is. So big up to yourself. King Cop saying GTV, JJ, and Kopish are the best Liverpool creators about. Big up.
Nah, man. I appreciate that big time, man.
Yeah, but guys as well, make sure we're heading over to GTV as well. Make sure we're subscribing because a lot of these kind of niche little the conversation starters, if you want to get a kind of insight into what we're going to be talking about on the live, make sure you're heading over at GTV because that's what all the stuff's going to be. That's what all the stuff's going to be. But listen, big up to everyone. RJ, like and subscribe. Make sure, guys, just make sure you're hitting the notification bell because we're going to be coming with a topic very soon. We're going to have to chat about something. So whether it's transfer roundup, we're going to be chatting. So just stay tuned until next time. It's been the J James Show and we're out, people.
Peace.